It's the morning drive. It's Mirror Business FM. My name is Tim Elliott, and I'm joined by Ajay Menon, who's the CEO of Luxe Vista Real Estate. Nice to see you, Ajay.
Good morning, Tim.
Always good to have you here. You're welcome. Last week, we looked at some of the common mistakes that people make and should avoid if you're going to invest in Dubai property or UAE property or really any property. So we'll get back to that in a moment because we got about just over halfway through. I just wanted to ask you how you were. Been at any launches recently? What have you been up to?
All over the place.
Really?
A lot. And actually, there's one launching today also.
What's today?
DIFC.
Ah, right. Okay. And what's your specific area of interest in this?
DIFC residential, just go for it. Just go for it.
Just jump in.
Beg, borrow, steal, get some money, find some money. I don't know, rob a bank, get... Just go for it.
I should make a proviso. Those are AJ's comments, not mine. Don't do the bank thing. But it is, that's kind of the perceived wisdom, isn't it? DIFC as an area sought after, let's put it that way.
Now, very sought after and very limited in inventory. It's going to be only the new DIFC 2.0 will only have 12% residential district. 13 million square feet, only 12% are residential units.
Right, okay. So if you work in that area and you'd like to live in that area, this is the time to look at putting down some roots in that area.
Plus, if it's just even as an investment, these are the places where the big boys live.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's funny. A week or two ago, you were talking about that, and you made some really good points. We were talking about, the idea of these real luxury spas in places, which is beyond my reality. But for people in pressure jobs like that, I understand. I just wanted to run this by. I was just reading the news at the weekend. This was, I think it was Gulf News. Dubai real estate records highest ever January as transactions reach historic peak. Okay, and it's just the extent of the figures to me. So nearly 17,000 sales deals completed in January, up just over 20% from 14,000 last year. You're nodding sagely here. So, I know you know these figures, but this is DLD data, Dubai Land Department data. So real estate transactions in January, 107.96 billion, nearly 108 billion dirhams, almost double the same month last year. I saw that, and I know things are going well. I talked to you. We talk to people in real estate who have a real grasp on this often. I didn't know things were quite this good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
And even the government had a plan of getting into, a billion in so many years. 1 trillion in so many years.
I've got that figure here. I didn't know this. So total real estate transactions in 2025 approached 917 billion, a level targeted for 2033.
Correct.
And that was 2025. So it's only 8 years ahead of, just 8 years.
Just 8 years.
Okay.
And in fact, if you look at 2040 plan, the vision was to increase the population from 4 million now to 5.8 million later on.
Yes.
Till 2040.
Yeah.
Now the target is revised to 7.8 million. We're talking about almost doubling the population by that time. We are way ahead.
The thing is, but it's like that. Let's bring this down to really simple terms. Dubai is known for luxury and shopping malls. That's certainly one of the things Dubai is known for. And every year, when a new shopping mall opens, we'll all say it, and everybody will be like, "Oh, we don't need another mall." It turns out we do, pretty much all the time, and it's kind of the same thing with the population growth that we're projected to see. You're kind of like, no, but it will.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I see. It's a misconception actually. People not in the UAE, especially from the West, they think that Dubai is only luxury lifestyle. There is all shopping.
Sure.
There is only beaches, and that's it. That is not the case. No. Dubai offers much more than all these things. First of all, they offer security. Jobs are being created here. Family offices are moving here, which means the new industries are going to come here. There is a lot more happening to Dubai than just shopping malls and beaches.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is true. Do you know where the strongest performing areas by sales value in January were? I've got the list here. This is not to test you, Ajay, put you on the spot, but Al Rawaya 1 was the top of the list, over 6 billion dirhams. spent. Menon 2, Mason 2. Yalis 1, 4.6 billion. Business Bay, 4th. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Gardens. Other areas, Sakim 1st, Palm Jebel Ali, Dubai Investment Park 2nd, and Palm Dira. All of those notable areas close or getting towards 2 billion dirhams in sales as well. I just reading these figures thinking, that seems like a lot. And then you look at the jump compared to last year, and it kind of reinforces what we already know. But it's pretty stark when you see that many zeros.
No, but people in the industry, we know it.
I know.
Because we see the transactions happening, right?
You do.
Yeah. So
You do.
and obviously there is that Medan area which is really up and coming.
Yeah.
Again, with DIFC 2.0 in mind. Medan, Jadaf, JGC,
Yeah.
Jumeirah Garden City. And the other one, we're talking about the Yalais area, is where all your oasis, the big communities from Imar is coming up. The high ticket ones.
Yeah.
So this area, I mean, that is again coming towards Dubai South.
Yeah.
So the city is moving towards Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
and Abu Dhabi is moving towards us.
For sure. They're almost conjoined. That's coming, of course. I just think it's worth documenting these things, talking about these things, because, I was kind of sad. This was like typical weekend newspaper, and I'm very aware of the figures, but it just struck me, and it's kind of sinking in exactly where we are. And February, I guess, what are you looking at? Ramadan's on the way. Are you expecting a
Same.
strong
I mean,
February?
what Ramadan comes in is basically then people will start, the developers will start promoting some incentives along with the the purchase and stuff. So that's their way of come buy from us, which I'm going to say something bad about later on.
I'm sure you will. I'd expect nothing less. Let's go on to today. Once again, I mean, Dubai real estate investments can bring you really strong returns. There are some basic efforts that you need to make from your side. Now, last week we looked at some of the common mistakes that people make, some of the things that people should avoid. If you're looking at investing, we were kind of looking at the Dubai property market, but it extends obviously much wider. It doesn't really matter. It's just that that's where we're sat. Let's just recap very briefly, if you don't mind summing up. I'll just chuck a headline at you. First thing you said, buying without having an objective in place. That's so key.
Definitely, because if you don't know what you're buying for, then don't buy it.
Okay, buying without an exit plan was the next thing you brought
Much
up.
more important, because the thing is, you should always understand at some stage, to completely realize your investment potential, you have to exit that unit.
Right. This was one that came up, and thinking about it now, it seems so common sense, but I think for a lot of people, it wouldn't be really on the radar as much as it should be. Avoid bad floor plans.
It's actually basic common sense.
It is.
And I don't know why people are missing, or even if most people are now buying off plan. So this is the job of a consultant to properly explain what sort of floor plan they're buying into. Yeah. If you go to a developer, they will not. They will just give you this. That's it. It's not their job to sit and educate and tell you, okay, but this floor plan is we have 2 units here. This is not so great a floor plan, and this is the greatest floor plan. They're not going to tell you this. They're just going to show you this, and you choose from whatever you want.
It's a really good point. And if you have no sense of spatial awareness and you can't read a floor plan, get a tape measure and measure it out. Do something, try and get a feel of what it is. So don't do that. Jacuzzis on the balcony we talked about.
Oh, terrible idea.
I know.
Please don't do it. Leakages, issues.
They look great, but...
Maintenance.
Yeah.
High electricity bills.
Okay, and we got the picture. Branded residences. I use the word, no, I'm not even going to use the word, but just branded residences, you're not a huge fan of.
Not entirely. I mean, if it makes sense, it's fine. I mean, talking about hospitality brands, great idea. Health and wellness branded residences, very good idea. But not a clothing brand, not a football brand for that matter. So,
Chelsea fans spitting feathers at the moment. Going directly to developers is not a great idea, you say?
Same as what I mentioned. They are not going to give you comparables. You have come to them. Their idea is to sell.
Yeah.
And they don't say that, there is one more unit from my competitor just next door, which might fit your requirements more than our product. They're not going to say that. Again, they will give you, they will show you whatever they have. And they might even sell you the one which is much more difficult to sell.
Yeah.
So there must be some unit which has a completely, full water view. And there is a unit which has a partial water view and towards the park. So when you're living in a waterfront community, you should buy a full waterfront property. If there is no water view in a waterfront property, what are you doing there?
Yeah, it's just a front property in that case. Yeah, I'm with you. Buying a unit with a pure off-plan agent. So
Very, very important, because
package.
you need the full service. You're not buying now. This property is going to be a minimum 15 or you have a long life cycle for a property. So you need support at every different stage. Buying, then once it is handed over, you need the snagging, you need resales, you need renting, you need a mortgage assistance. You need to go with an agency or an agent which has all the service. Otherwise, you're just left in the dark. Because most of the time when you're buying from a pure off-plan agent, they have absolutely no clue how the rest of things operate. They do not have accounts in property portals like Bayouth. These are all expensive propositions.
Yeah.
So as an individual off-plan agent, maybe two people can do the job, but that's only selling, that's it. Then you're just becoming a financial advisor rather than a full service real estate assistant for you.
Okay. So that's, I think, where we got to last week. The next point was this. We may have done this. I was trying to remember last night. Buying in a building with too many units or in a project with too many units. Don't do that.
Never do that. Again, comes back to common sense, but people don't think. Because people are not being educated. People are not explained why you shouldn't do that. The idea is when you're buying into a project or into a community where there's a lot of units, especially a lot of studios, a lot of one-bedroom units. The moment it is handed over, you have to either sell it or you're going to put it on rent. You are going to be competing with 1,000 other people who has actually bought into that project with you. I mean, you have bought. There are 1,000 other people who have bought, because if there are 1,000 one-bedrooms and studios out there, you have so many competitors. So imagine all the 1,000 people putting their units on Property Finder. Each owner is going to list it with at least 3 agents. So that means suddenly on Property Finder, you have 3,000 units for rent or sale. And what does the prospective tenant or the buyer think? Oh, there's a lot of units available, so I'm going to negotiate the hell out of it.
Well, I was thinking the only differentiator there, if you want to get ahead, it's by being cheaper, isn't
Exactly.
it?
I mean, how can you? Because everything is same. The developer is the same, so you can't say mine is a better quality than yours. It's exactly the same unit, the same size. Everything is the same. So all things being equal, how can you differentiate? Only by reducing the price.
It's true. It's brand new. So is next door, and next door, and next door to that. And I'm with you. Okay, so don't buy a building with too many units or a project with too many units is your advice. Focus more on discounts and also, and this is a good point, I think, attractive payment plans.
This is something which is really, really, I mean, many people do it. I understand it's very enticing, very, looks from outward, it looks very nice.
Yeah.
And people always think about, okay, what can I afford? I mean, this looks like a 20-80 plan. Okay, I have 20%. 80% I'm going to take a loan. Or 30%, 70%. Or the 1% payment plan that goes forever. I don't know. It goes for 5 years. I've seen 8.5 years payment plan.
Right.
Please do understand that the top tier developers don't do this. They have structured payment plan. They don't offer any discounts because even without that, their units sell. These people have substandard product, or even they make similar units of a lot of units, and the idea is just to sell. For that, they might give you discounts. They might give you flexible payment plan. They are not doing it out of the kindness or the goodwill. They're doing it for a reason, because the units are not selling.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah. No, it's fair. I remember years ago, a friend of mine in the UK was buying a place, and she said, "Oh, it's great. It comes with a free." It was some kind of nice car. It was Jaguar, Mercedes, or something. I'm not sure what the car was. It comes with a free car, and I'm thinking, not sure the car's free. No, I think maybe that's
It is
been
built into the
in.
price.
Yeah. So, but I mean, all of these incentives, it's very easy to think, well, that's what I budgeted. There's a car there, or some form of incentive. You can see why that's so attractive.
Now, having said that, this is what I said. I'll come back to this. Having said this, there is an appeal to all the developers out there.
Sure.
Unless the person is buying, is a first-time homeowner, or he's buying in bulk, or he's a full cash investor,
Yeah.
please do not offer any discounts. You either price your product right, or if you think, don't make it a cattle market.
It makes it very difficult. It must make the market very difficult to navigate when you have payment structures that maybe don't match what they should.
Now, I understand the payment plans. I mean, I understand the top tier developers are doing 80-20, 70-30, 60-40. Yes, 60-40, 50-50 is understandable. 40-60, 30-70, 20-80, come on. I mean, even I'm okay with that. But my issue is when you price a product, you price it fairly so that you don't have to give any discount. Basically, what you're doing is you are devaluing your own product.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Buying without holding power till completion.
Classic mistake. And again, it's not their fault because I think it is most to do with, I think brokers are to blame. The brokers promise the earth and the moon. They say, okay, you just buy 20% now, pay 10 more percent, I'm going to flip it for another 30%. Not happening. Off-plan resales categorically is not happening. There's a lot of, unless you are able to hold it till the end or even hold it after possession for at least 1 year, don't buy. Don't get into this. You need to have money and full money. Or at least you know that you're getting the full money.
Right, okay. Okay, and understand that, a broker's job is kind of to promise you.
No, his job is to sell.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And very often that's by over-promising, but there you go. Buying an old building with a 20/80 percentage terms mortgage. Not a great idea.
A couple of scenarios. If you're buying to avoid the rent, go for it.
Right.
Fine, because your whole intention is to avoid the rent and live there. You're not paying any rent. You're fine with it. So you pay the 20%. You just manage the 20% plus that 6%, which is your land department fees and your brokerage charges and those kind of things. Live there. Live a happy life. Avoid paying rent. Avoid that song and dance during that every rental renewal time with your landlord. So that's a given. That's fine.
Right.
The next thing is basically if you are buying to invest, that is not a good idea. Why do I say that? Is because, see, when you understand the math, or even before understanding the math, particularly if you're buying an older product, which was built before COVID,
Right.
facilities were minimal. The buildings average. I mean, sizes were good. That is one positive thing about the older buildings and the newer buildings.
Right.
But having said that, what happens? You will start getting immediate rental. So cash flow is very important, and that is the reason why many people think that they're doing the right thing by doing this and going for a ready property, a 20/80 plan. They think, okay, I just put 20% now, I buy it, and immediately my rents start coming up. Okay. Temporary solution, because what is going to happen is the moment a newer development comes next door, a newer product comes in, these people, the tenants, would easily drop you and go to the other place unless you again reduce the rentals.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm thinking that's the scenario. It's going cheaper again to keep people, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
And now you understand the math. So if you are buying it for investment, you're paying 20%, which means you're taking a loan for 80%. That's typically for a resident, it's 4% interest. We'll talk about the case of residents. Non-residents, we're talking about around the 5.5% mark. So, and they can't get 20/80 anyways. The best case scenario is a 64. I mean, they can get up to 60% mortgage. Yeah. So we'll talk about residents. They take the 80% loan at 4% interest rate, and the net rentals, best case scenario, you're looking at around 6 to 6.5%. So the delta between this is 2.5. I'll just give you an additional 0.5% more. The best case scenario is you're going to make 3% net. You'd rather put that money in your bank without any risk. and get more 4 to 5%, whatever you're getting it. I think some online bankings are even giving you 6%.
It's not the real estate investment that a lot of people are looking for, is it?
Exactly.
It's also worth pointing out, if you're an international, if you're watching this from abroad and you think, well, it's an older building, it's got more character. An older building here is 10 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe. That's not what this is about.
No, I think that's a very fair point, actually. Especially from where you come. The older, the buildings in those countries, they were built to last. Or they were, they've lasted, 100 years plus, even more, some of them?
For sure.
Yeah.
Some, yeah.
But these buildings are built in an area where there's extreme heat.
Yeah.
And the constructions were really primitive back in the days.
Yeah, it does make a difference. You are right. Yeah, I'm with you. We've got to be really quick, actually. The last thing that we didn't get to last week, failure to diversify while building a portfolio. Just very briefly.
Okay, so buying a studio, 1 bedroom and a 3 bedroom in one particular project is not a great idea. It's not called diversification. Or buying in different locations all around Dubai is also not diversification.
It's true.
Right? And the real case of diversification is basically when you're buying a residential unit, you're buying a retail unit, or you're buying an office. That is called diversification.
Gotcha.
And it is not a DIY. You can come to a consultant who can really guide you through this. That is the way you should be doing it.
I'm with you, always with you. Ajay Menon is the CEO of Luxe Vista Real Estate. I always enjoy talking to you, Ajay. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is Mira Business FM.